Hey Hugo, thanks for meeting up with me today during our lunch break. I guess it's a lunch break for the both of us. This is Hugo from Portugal, everyone. He's an old friend of mine. I can say he's an old friend of mine, even though we're not that old, the both of us.
Yeah,
Well, we've known each other for a while.
yeah, maybe 6 years, I think.
Yeah, Hugo lives in Portugal, in Lisbon. So
Mhm.
Hugo, tell me how are things there? I know you have over 6,000 infection cases right now. Like 1,200 deaths because of the
Mhm.
coronavirus. How are things in Portugal like these days?
Okay, right now we are in lockdown, and probably we are in state of emergency, and it's going to extend at least another 2 weeks or 1 month. Those are the news for the next 2 days, and we are waiting to understand if this is what is going to happen. Um, and we've seen some news in the hospitals that are being crowded, and we don't have a lot of protection supply for our doctors and nurses, and we were having some doctors infected also because of that.
Same
And
here. We have the exact same issue here. Not enough gear, not enough protection equipment for the um, doctors. Yeah.
and right now, like I said to you, I'm at home right now, almost 3 weeks, almost, and I kind of don't know what is the reality outside. I see the news, and because that's what I have right now, and my feeling is that 1 week ago it was like split 50-50. 50% of the population were isolated at home, understanding what the situation is, trying to take care and stay safe. The other 50% didn't care. Well, are still going around.
I saw
That's nothing.
pictures. Yeah, I saw pictures of people out on the beach like a week ago. When did the lockdown actually start? Was it more than 2 weeks?
Yeah. That picture, that normal picture, it was a lockdown of schools and universities,
Mm-hmm.
um, but not yet the lockdown of for general people and for work.
Okay.
And that picture was from the day before or 2 days before the lockdown started. So it was like, okay, before everything started, let's go everyone to the beach.
Just one last thing, one last trip.
Yeah, before coronavirus comes, he knows that it will only come next Monday, so let's go on Saturday.
Right, that's so funny. It's like the virus is not gonna get to me just today.
And
That's
now he has a calendar. The virus has a calendar, and he respects it. It's very so.
so that means that today there's pretty much nobody really walking around on the street, just people going about their essential business.
That's the both thing, and we had a thing in the last weekend because we had a good weather, and it was the beginning of the Easter holidays. On Saturday, the access to the bridge to go to the other side of the river and to go to the south to Algarve, they were packed. A lot of
Really?
people tried to go, and there was already prohibited to do it, and the force of security were making a stop and to understand and talking to people, why are you doing this? From what I read from the police reports, half of the people were just trying to get home because they live on the other side.
Ah, okay.
The other part were going to work, but half of it. The rest, I don't know. The goal was to, okay, not all of them are morons or idiots. Some are good people.
Right, it's like everywhere, I swear. It's the same here. We had in the news some people, you're not allowed to go out unless you have shopping, work, or a medical visit, or to walk your pet. And some people were just the police were talking about it in the news, and they said they found this one guy who was walking around on the street with a goldfish in a plastic bag full of water, and he said he was walking his pet, so of course they find him. Yeah, so people are creative like that, but they don't quite understand the dangers of going against the rules like that. But so it's everywhere. It's not just in Portugal, it's here too. um
Yeah.
so I mean, things are pretty bad in Spain right now. Have you guys closed borders? Do you still allow transit from across the
I think they're
border?
close for right now. 1.5 weeks, I think, or 2 weeks that they are closed. Only commodities can come in, no, not people. From what I know and from I read from the government.
Do you have like a big flood of people returning home from wherever they were working these days?
Close to me, no. The fact that the UK is leaving the European Union made some of my friends living in London come back to Portugal, going to other countries.
Okay.
So I still have people there working there, but they are staying there, and I don't have a lot of contact with them to understand the reality in the UK.
A lot of Romanians are working in Spain and Italy. They were
Mm-hmm.
working temporary jobs, like in hotels, like seaside resorts. And because tourism is pretty much down now, all of them started coming back, flooding back. And we have 40,000 people who just returned in the last 2 weeks. And of course, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
them may carry the virus with them. So that's a huge issue. How do you handle the people who are coming back home, not just the infections here? So I was curious if you guys have the same.
I cannot say that in globally, especially with UK, but I can say that I had a friend that she was traveling and on sabbatical, and suddenly she realized, okay, the borders in Portugal are going to close. So, or I go back to my family, or
Right, get
I'll stay
stranded.
here in Himalayas for how many months? And I don't know. I cannot get out. So
Hmm.
she had to just quit everything and come back to Portugal in one day. And that's one example that I have. Another example, before the beginning of the lockdown, a lot of the students that were universities and at schools living in Lisbon, they tried to come back to my hometown, for example, to Alentejo. And imagining if Lisbon, it's the big focus of the infection, and a lot of young people go back to the countryside where there are more old people than in the rest of the country, this will be like a ticking bomb. So
Exactly.
it's the same issue, but internally, I would say.
Right, right. Internal migration. Yeah, it makes sense. So the universities and schools are closed for the rest of the year.
From what I know, it's frozen until most of the schools until the middle of April,
Okay.
until further notice. Let's see how this goes. But the peak of people infected in Portugal, probably from our health government, they say that it's going to be on the end of May. So this is going to
Oh.
extend a little bit more because we are doing something good. I think we are able to flatten the curve. We're not having so much people infected like this in a spiral. But we're going to flatten it. But because of that, it's going to take more time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you think that the government has taken the right measures to help flatten the curve?
I believe so. At least we are seeing this,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe they took 3 days longer to do the measure to take the measures that they took. At least from what I understood, in my opinion, because I believe in this situation, the government needs to give the example and to educate people earlier because people don't care or they're not aware or they don't trust what the government
Mm-hmm.
says at first. They need to see it, or
It's true.
sometimes it seems that they need to be your father and you are treating with kids, always
Yeah.
with kids. It's exhausting.
It's true. I feel, yeah, like people need to relate to it personally and then they realize it's a crisis. Are you able to keep your parents to convince them to stay in the house?
With my parents, they don't go to church. It's not that normal. But they had strong social life in a way that after having lunch, they will go to have a coffee and talk with the people in the cafe and going 2 or 3 times to the shopping, normal. But the most problematic thing to change, especially with my father, it was like, and he gave me this example 2 weeks ago. There was a guy that came from the United States, and I didn't see him for 2 weeks, and he approached me by his car, and he stood his hand like, "Come on, Pereira, how are you?" We were already with coronavirus outbreak, and my father looked at him like, thought about it, but then I need to talk to him, and a big
Oh,
handshake, and I was like, no.
oh.
And he
At
was
least
like,
if you, sure, talk to him, but at least keep your distance a little bit, like at least 1 meter, 2 meters if you can.
yeah, but this shock of if I don't say hi, if I don't handshake him, I will be like rude.
It's yeah.
And the other
Yeah.
thing is, if they need bread or they need, we just have 5 eggs and we need to go shopping. So the planning of, okay, let's try to do shopping for 1 week and decrease the opportunities to get infected. It's like, but I'm just going for 5 minutes. It doesn't matter if it's 5 minutes or 5 hours. Doesn't matter. The chances are there. So those are the things that I needed to talk with him, and my sister helped me a lot with this, like that, talking with him a lot. What are you doing? What do you think? And not, I try not to impose. It's like it's like you're training a dog. Like that.
No, it's true.
You don't say straight ahead to the dog, don't touch this. You wait to see the behavior. When he try to approach it, just before he touch it, or when he touch it, no, you cannot touch it.
This is wrong.
Exactly.
It's a good, yeah, that's a good idea. It's a good point. What is the most difficult thing for you these days, since you've been pretty much in lockdown, working from home? What's the toughest thing to do or to not do? I don't know.
Yeah, I'll say that two main things, if not four. Um, First, because I'm not living on my flat alone, sharing with other two people, I don't have control over how careful things are at home.
Right.
So that idea that I'm not secure at my own home, it's strange. I was not expecting this when it happened in the beginning. Only when I was start understanding, because I had a person that was still going outside working every day, I felt like shit. Like my home, my room is the only place where I'm safe. So leaving my room, it's like going outside. And I feel that stress, for example. And we tried not to cross each other on the house. So I'm stressed to make dinner fast. So I leave the kitchen and go back to my room. I'm I feel more stressed than I think I supposed to feel, and it is the first part, and that is tiring. I would say that is really tiring, and
Of course.
it's not about making the space smaller. I had a house that it was this size before, so no problem. But the fact that I cannot control. That's the main thing to me. I cannot control my space.
Right.
So I can be in isolation, but at the same time, because there is entries and leavings,
You're still
I never
exposed.
know. Yeah.
Right. Are your flatmates going to work? They have to get out of the house every day?
Supposedly, one of them, yes. But he was in working from home, but he didn't have the conditions to work here in this home, so he had to go to his parents' house to do it. So he needed to go every day, and to me it was really frustrating because, okay, it's not my fault that you don't have conditions to do it. It's not his fault that he doesn't have
True.
conditions to do it, but the consequences is I'm affected, even if I don't have fault, even if it's not your fault. So it was really frustrating to me to do it, and I wanted to have the zero countdown, like, okay, day 15, 14, 13. I cannot have it. I'm still always 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 0.
Oh, yeah.
So this is one of the big things, and the other thing, it's I cannot be with my girlfriend, and we didn't be so much time apart. I don't know, maybe for 1 year or 1.5 years that we didn't been more than 1, 2 weeks without seeing each other, and
Now it's
it's like
been, what, 3 weeks?
almost 3 weeks. Yeah, we went to lockdown at the same time.
And she lives in
So
a different city.
she lives in a closer by city, and we thought about me going there and stay with her at her place, but she's living with her parents and her grandmother, and both her mother, grandmother, and her brother are in the group risk because they
Oh,
don't
okay.
have so strong immune systems. And we are talking like, okay, I'm already 3 weeks at home. I don't have any symptoms. Probably I don't have anything. But at the same time, the risk of her meeting me here or going there, the risk can be so big that we don't know and we are afraid. And it's not something that you can undo afterwards.
It's
So
true. It's not
yeah,
risk-free for sure.
day
It's
by
tough.
day thing. Try to manage this.
I'm sorry. I hope you guys can meet up soon.
We're finding some fun stuff to do online. Like we start playing that game Stop. I did it also with my family. We are all in Zoom or WhatsApp playing Stop. We try to change the rules of Stop and playing Stop in another way.
I never played that. I should try it.
It's fun, and we did it. We watched some movies all together at the same time. We were counting 1, 2, 3 and press play, and we were on WhatsApp. We tried to find ways to connect with each other and to be close. And I think we feel our presence to each other, and we feel that we are present. The only thing is we cannot touch each other, and because we are more connected, even more connected in these times that we have time to talk and more emotions flow from each one of us. It's like the moment that you even want more to touch the people and to hug the people in the moment that she's sad or she's super happy and you want to celebrate. That willing for touch comes even more.
It's true. It's true. But it is nice that you guys can find a way to still develop this part of closeness, you know, at a distance. Um, and you've been together for a year and a half, you said?
2 years and a half.
2 years. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, it's a new stage. Um, yeah, I hope it won't last for too long. But who knows? Yeah, we also expect here that for Easter we'll have probably a big peak, and after that we'll see what happens. Well, okay, Hugo, thank you so much. It's been great. It's been great catching up with you. We should do this more often.
Yeah.
Good luck with work and stay safe and talk to you soon.